Pleasant good evening to each and everyone in Georgetown, Guyana, the diaspora, and else other countries around the world. Also, let me send my condolences on to Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, Russia, and many other hotspots where there are famine, religious conflict. People are dying, and unto this modern day, we are still selling humans as slaves for the body parts and enslaving young men and women. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me touch Guyana affair. As I'm looking at the news, I'm not confused, but I'm wondering to know if this is just a game. The PPP should learn from the past of the PNC under the late Fos Burnham, and not forgetting under David Granger administration in the election when they said 31 is higher than 32, and what they went through. It's a shame. I think the PPP members in Parliament and their supporters should be ashamed of themselves to understand under the late Fos Burnham government what had happened in dictatorism. We have lost some great soul. The late Walter Rodney died because of dictator Burnham and Cheddy Jagan as his advisor. We have seen Vincent Tika also was murdered. Ladies and gentlemen, 65 members of Parliament, but we allow the nation to be victimized by these 65 members. Forget what they come out and they're criticizing one another in front of your face. Their own pockets are full. Their family are taken care of while you are waiting on a handout and false promises. And when they give you $1, they want you to believe it coming from their fucking pocket is the nation money. And another thing, for the young Indian and blacks come up of this day of arrival and emancipation. I, George Correa, is willing to tell you here today, where is the US? Where is Trump? We are attacking Venezuela because of Maduro and his dictatorism. What happened to Guyana, an English-speaking country? A country that an independence was given to nations that don't belong to the country when they are claiming emancipation and day of arrival. Guyana is a country that don't have no justice in the court system. The police in uniform are the biggest corrupt people, taking bribe and lock up innocent people. We happens to be victim of them under the David Granger administration, where the security minister was a coolie man, an Indian bastard by the name of Ramchatan, and Nagamutu as the prime minister or whatever he was, but that's not the problem. I am calling on all Guyanese to unite. I don't know Mr. Mohammed, and I stand up in the trenches and I support the PPP many times when Burnham government was taking away the election, rigging it, and GDF was fetching ballot box. And not forgetting the two Rampasad brothers that was killed in the 28 in Berbice. But you Indians, you're so fucking ungrateful, vindictive, spiteful. And I don't want to make it look like a religious conflict between Hindus and Muslims. Because the two key figures in that party, it seems to be the Hindu side. Because Ali, as the president, have no voice, but now he's jumping around. Ladies and gentlemen, Guyana belongs to the Amerindian, followed by the mixed race. The Portuguese and Chinese does not speak but arrival, emancipation, only the Indian and the black. Which means we don't have 6 nations, and this Guyana is not one people. If we got one people, then we should see eye to eye. So let's come up with this fucking talk about one people. Under the Burnham government, I have known what had happened to East Indian race, men and women, when guns were stuck into some Indian men's face while their wife was being raped by the black people. And I say black because you love to call yourself black, by the African descendant. And today, the wrong you have also done to the Amerindian in their own fucking country, and you calling on God? Give up the Bible, or Allah, give up the Quran, Ali. Well, I don't know about the Ramayana. I mean, the people's mind is not mature, that's why they Ramayana. Okay? God forgive me, it might mean something else in Hindi. Like we say, pani, water, agua, you know. But I'm making it clear. Why we have to be like this? You know, dictators just run away with their friends and family. And you, the army, the police, in uniform and the killers left behind. Look at the Shah of Iran. Do you know how many police and military, judges, and others who were back in Shah? Do you know what happened to them and their family? Find out. Look at Saddam Hussein. Do you know what happened to his fucking sons and his entire family? And those who was backing him too? They don't want you to know these things. Somoza of Nicaragua. Do you know what happened to his family? Come on. The pine-faced man of Panama, Noriega. Do you know what happened? And in many other countries in the African Peninsula and the Arab continent, dictators just run away. But how long does they live? To enjoy what they thief? Friends, that's not my business. Once you don't fuck with me, you're free to go. But if you kill mine, where yours going? Tell me, where yours are going? From the cradle to the rocking chair will be the fucking call of the day. But we don't need to go that way. Because if Muhammad, the last messenger, could go to war, and Moses, as Moses, could have drunk the Pharaoh, and they are prophet of God, I am not profiteering, I'm not here for a dollar, so nobody can buy and sell me. We are here for what is right and what is wrong. Yes, without a doubt, I can say the PPP is developing all over the country. So you cannot see it with your eyes, but there's a lot of corruption happening. And we become a laughing stock to the world. Okay? Because I'm looking at the President Ali, he's trying to counteract corruption. But brother Ali, my friend, nothing personal. I think you should take a look in a trick-on a mirror and give Barrett one to look at too. All right? But don't feel anyway funny. You was accused of 19 counts and you become the president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. But an innocent black man or coolie man as Indian get accused and be locked up, and a mixed race was stripped by a black woman and beat nakedly and didn't even give medical, and you people talking about human rights? I wish if God hear my cry, the ocean could rise and cover the fucking country. Leave the Amerindian, the Portuguese, the Chinese, and the decent black and Indian to survive. It's time for y'all to come out of this bullshit. Every guy needs dissolved land and money to build their house. Every civil servant deserves a good salary, especially the police, the military. Starting salary should be $2,000 US per month. And with overtime goes with it. Same goes to the military. A little more, because in case of anything, y'all are the one that creating and keeping the dictators in power. Is y'all are at the front line. So wake the fuck up. We can unite and make Guyana a real cooperative republic in just a matter of one dictator to another. What I'm looking at really, an election was called. With all the allegations against Mr. Mohammed, I don't know the man per se. And I hear on the talk show, nobody trusts Mohammed because he was with Bharat, and he was with Ali, and they were driving in a Lamborghini, whatever Guinea, you know, and then he gave them bodyguard. He used to pay the teachers. According to information is alleged, he had school children, he was stopped. He started to do what is right because he's a Muslim and his father was doing it before. According to information it's alleged, that's the teaching of Islam. Charity is one of the teaching of the pillar of Islam. But, ladies and gentlemen, even in the home of Indians, there are problems. They kill each other for nothing. But you black people, as you call yourself, the descendant of Africa, you should learn if they are so dangerous to their own, they're only using and abusing you to keep them in power and give you a little money, and if you kill, they got somebody else to kill you. Learn. No politician would send a man to kill somebody because he know they can talk. He already got 3 ready to kill you and 10 more ready to kill the other 3. When will you all wake up, man? When will you all wake up? Yeah, it's a beautiful country. It's not for Indian and black people alone. Why you, the black race, talking about emancipation, then go back to Africa? And everyone arrive, 10 must take your place. And you Indian, you arrive, go back to India. And everyone arrive, 10 must take your place. Open up Guyana to the Caribbean, Latin South America. I heard you black people got an issue. You hate the European as a white man. You hate the Chinese man. You hate the coolie man. You hate those who speak out against your wrong things in your own. When will you get sense to understand that this thing don't put you no way? And unite and put Guyana forward. And all of you deserve land to build house. To build your house with 60,000 US for family. And let's make the law. Anyone get caught thieving, cut their hands out. Anyone lie and someone to put them in trouble, take off their fucking head. Build a museum and then bomb it so people will know who were there and what crime they commit. And if you lock up an innocent man or woman, given their age, and they were innocent, when the time comes, those who lock them up, the accuser to the police, well, the police got to do their job. But if he didn't investigate it properly, it's part and parcel of a crime. And therefore, if the man is 40 years of age or a woman that you lock up innocently, every year is for one of your family. I believe in that. If God drunk the world and only save 8, nobody see him or know him, they don't know who he is. We are living in America and other parts of the world, and we are being humiliated and insulted by Americans and not the European, the African descendant. We come for the US dollar, while oil is coming to America and our goal for 2%. Think of it, and we are English-speaking people. I call it, Mr. Ali condemned the election people who came from Europe, and they disclosed about the election, and he condemned it. But under the Barnum time, there was only talking, then it was a game, ladies and gentlemen. It's a game. If Mr. Mohammed won the election according to information is alleged, and they even rob him, he can't even enter parliament. And Mr. Mansour, nothing personal, my friend. Don't forget the United Force, where it is. Did you sell your soul for a position? Now I wouldn't blame you, because what the PNC have done to you during the time when they beat you and take away your married ring and your money, you hear? It was not fair. I want anybody who attack a political person while they're campaigning, and you got their picture, look for them and get rid of them. I believe in that, because nothing lasts forever. We can live in peace, or we must go out in pieces. Let's unite, stop the nonsense, and put Guyana forward. Let our people return back home and unite and put the country forward. We have enough resources. Every family could get a check every month, but all civil servants must be given a better salary. Starting salary for teachers should be 2,000 US per month. Going according to grade. Same goes to the police, the military, 2,000 and change per month US. And the postman and the postwoman, the immigration and the customs. And make laws, anyone who get caught taking bribe, they don't need a job and they don't need to live. I believe in that. I mean, look, we don't know God, but when we sin, we're going to go to hell. Imagine if we were robbing, raping, if he was a woman. Or doing such a thing, what he would do with us? Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Guyanese to unite. If Ali is doing good, it's our duty to support him, because to be honest, the Indian people love to develop. They can thieve 60 to 70% of the money, but they can still show you a little cosmetics. All right? While on the black side, they thieve 90% of it, and only friends and family with many contracts and some of the cronies. So both sides got cronies. Indian and blacks got cronies, and then nobody is a more opportunist than an Indian race, man and woman. But you have good and bad amongst everybody. It's time for we to unite. Find the right leader. Africa is for Africans descendant. Europe is for European descendant. India is for Indian descendant. China is for Chinese descendant. But if you live in Guyana and holding on to Mother India and Mother Africa, then you really don't care for the country that you were born and grew in. So let us send you back and bring those from the country from which the ancestor came from to take care of the family, worship their God, and live in love, peace, and unity. I call upon the United States Embassy to bring charges against those who make a fictitious report that America is behind it and talking about sanction, and then the 2 Jamaican or 3 Jamaican lawyers, I think CARICOM should get involved, that their license being an attorney, by lying it's alleged, they should not practice law because they become lawless. Where is CARICOM? How we could sanction Venezuela but we cannot sanction Guyana? And we talk about an election is democracy. Now, it is up to America to do their job. And I'm saying it clear. But I want a court system. If you lie on someone, to put them in trouble, they must cut off your head. If you thief, they must cut off your hand. Okay? If you rape, they must hang you by your balls. And if the woman lie on you, hang her by her crotch. Equal justice. It sounds bad, radical, right? But in this world, you got to deal radical with radicals. Okay? But if the government is doing good, it's your duty to put all differences aside and support them. But during what's happening right now in a democratic society, that is not democracy, that is dictator system. And I will song the word now with the late Walter Rodney, people's power, no dictator. We shall not, will not tolerate it. And for all them Indian who bribing surveyor, bribing judges and lawyers to make fictitious case for rob people their land, pulling out a surveyor poll, let it be known to you, with the right government, all them cases shall be reopened. And before somebody buy a property, they must find out if it was in the court for land dispute. Don't buy it, because the courthouse is one of the most corrupt fucking places, such as the parliament. So you, the young police officers, military personnel, and civil soldiers, unite. Your future of your children is at stake, your generation. And you, Indian and black, stop the fighting. Please. This man, Mr. Mohammed, is supposed to be in parliament because he ran an election. Why they cannot put him in parliament? It is time for the international community to step in. If so be the case, have nothing to do with Guyana, leave it alone. And you people in Guyana better start speaking Spanish and Portuguese. And you Guyanese, Indian and black alike, stop talking about the Spanish, the Spanish, the Spanish. They do you nothing. Do you know how much Guyanese living in Venezuela? Some of them all in fucking Brazil. Do you know how much of them living in Canada? Indian and black living in America. Plenty illegal. And you all calling the Venezuelan criminals. Do you know how many criminals in the Indian and black place living in America? Come on. In every country, in every nation, there's criminals. They're liars. They're beggars, whores, and thieves. So stop criticizing the Venezuelans. What become of Coco? I'm not hearing anything. I want to know what agreement Mr. Ramatar signed with Maduro, as it's alleged, and Coco is no more us. According to information, it's alleged. I want to know about that. Then it's alleged again. Vice President Barajagde was saying to give Maduro something around the vicinity of the IWL department. Something not right here. But yet for all, Maduro is backed by Russia. And India vote against Guyana and support Venezuela of a land dispute. Friends, you are Guyanese. Stop the bickering and fighting. If Mohammed is the man to rule the country, let's unite and see it happen. All right? That country is not PPP, PNC, and AFC after fooling the fucking coolie and fooling the country. It's the people living there. East Indian descendant, African descendant, Portuguese, Chinese, the mixed race, and the original people, the first people. Can we put an Amerindian to rule Africa? Or you go there claim India and Africa or China? They'll put his head in a plate, or feed him to crocodiles or lions, or electrocute his ass, isn't it? But you talk about Allah, Bhagwan, and God, and you all are the biggest fucking hypocrite and thief. Come on, man. What God you all serve? If God could hear my cry, put an earthquake first to destroy it. And let it be known to you, the killer, not only you can kill. The United States stand for human rights and democracy, and they will not sit down and tolerate this nonsense. So come on, Donald J. Trump, President of America, stepped into Guyana and get a true leader who will work together with the United States, Canada, and England, and others for democracy and human rights so we can work together. Change the Guyana money and use US currency, or Canadian or British, because enough is enough. I beg God here today, as I said again, Mr. Ali is going around like Muhammad, meeting people, feeding people. That is waste of time, man. Come on. But he's a young man. But again, we can see a lot of development under the PPP, you know. So don't blame them. If they're doing good, all they got to do now, set this election thing good and let Muhammad enter the fucking parliament. It don't look good for our country. From dictator Burnham to Judas Chetty, Desmond Height was the best. That David Granger was controlled by Nagamutu and Ramjatan, according to information. What become of Saturday Saw? Under the hands of Mr. Barrett Jack, there are too many young people were murdered, black people, they say. When he's African descendant, but I'm saying it what you say, not me. But if the government is doing good, it's our duty to stand up together. But if they're wrong, we must do what is right for the nation. We need a leader for all the people, not one race, one people, okay? We need a leader who is there to be a part of everybody, not just one or two. Because you're an Indian, you take care of Indian. You're black, you take care of black. It have to stop. Ladies and gentlemen, I urge you in the name of God, let's unite. Do what is right for Guyana and your generation. If the government is doing good, it's your duty to support it. And if they're doing wrong, we have a right to replace them. People's power, no dictator. Long live Walter Rodney Boyce and his message. Thank you.